Aho to ye travellers, cometh young, cometh old. 'Tis adventure we seek for the meek and the bold. A knight and a wizard who drink smashes sour have a magic crusade for you this questing hour.
Welcome back,
Hello, travelers!
Welcome back to the Questing Hour podcast. Happy Thursday!
Happy Thursday! And you know what Thursday means?
It means
New episode and new
special
guest.
Special guest.
Special guest.
This is a friend of the pod, Emma. Emma, why don't you tell us about yourself?
I'm Emma. I have a master's degree in archeology. I love medieval things, all medieval things, knights, dragons, swords, weapons. Yeah, so I had to join the podcast to talk a little bit about everything.
Got to. Also,
Must.
she's my sister.
What?
That's important. That's important
That's
detail.
That's crazy.
I do know her.
Yeah, so anytime I've mentioned my sister and I say redacted,
This
it's
is her.
every time.
This is redacted.
She's the only one. So it's Emma every time.
Every time.
Yeah. So, oh my gosh,
Well,
thanks for being here.
here.
So we're gonna ask
Glad
you
to
some
have you.
super easy questions and then some super difficult questions to really get you thinking about your life. So would you rather we start with the easy ones or the hard ones? Easy ones?
Yes.
Okay.
Valid.
Okay, cool. All right, well, here's a really easy one. If you're putting yourself into a fantasy world, would you
Oh,
be
yeah.
a knight, a wizard, a princess, a king, or a gnome?
The answer is knight.
Obviously a knight. Obviously.
I just think that I have so much anger inside me that the only way to be able to utilize that is by being a knight.
Okay.
So real.
Would you be a noble knight or just like a vengeful knight?
No. I wouldn't be vengeful per se. No, I'd be a good knight. I like, justice and
Using your powers
loyalty.
for good.
Yes, like a protector almost.
Okay.
Not afraid to fight back if something goes wrong.
Yeah. I love
All right.
that.
I respect that.
Yeah. I always say knight too.
I want to be noble.
Yes. I love that.
Mhm.
Ollie
Nah,
always goes wizard.
I'm wizard.
He's a wizard always.
Magic is good. I like magic.
Yeah, magic's always fun.
I just want to carry a sword. That's my
Literally,
thing.
That's all I want. That's all I want.
Stage dissertation on swords,
yeah.
if that counts.
Yes. Wait, tell us about that. What was it
Yeah, what
like
was that
doing
like?
the research?
Oh, well, it was very exciting. I didn't get to handle anything, which is a little sad. But I traveled around to a ton of museums and did my dissertation on Viking age swords. Just basically compared all of them and how you can look at the sword and tell what that would have said about the person. So age, gender, religion, social
Oh.
status, just from the sword.
That's kind of
Yeah.
crazy. I love that.
Yeah, that's
It's
awesome.
like
Really
it's like the
cool to look at all the
castle
weapons.
question, but strictly swords.
yeah.
If you had a sword, what kind would it be?
If you had a sword, what
Yeah,
sword would it be?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many, but the ornamental ones, they're too heavy to actually be used, but they wear on the hip, look actually cool. You have really feisty ones that are supposed to cause a lot of damage. Exciting.
Do you have a favorite kind?
I was gonna say, do you have a favorite or like a least
we'll put a
favorite?
picture in.
Sword in general. Because I live in Scotland currently, I would have to say the Scottish Claymore. Two-handed Viking sword.
It's
Ooh,
pretty
okay.
Pretty epic. I do love the big one.
Insert picture because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, speaking of the castle question, let's go ahead and get that one out of the way. If
You
you had
know.
a castle, what would it look like and where would it be? We've already heard your answer, but our listeners haven't.
Our listeners
Fuck
haven't,
myself,
and then
but-
we have to have Maggie psychoanalyze you afterwards.
Oh,
yeah.
yes, for sure.
I've gotten pretty good at it.
Yeah, when I answered this question before I lived in Scotland, it sounded a lot at like the castle that I currently work at. But now that I work
Wait,
at
that's so cool.
Redacted Castle, I've changed my answer.
You hate it, don't you?
It's a nightmare. But I still think it'd be like kind of a Scottish castle, a nice castle on the cliffside over the ocean, very tall, very majestic. It would look kind of old and weathered, but it'd still be really nice on the inside. And I'd like to have a little village around it for all the townspeople. It'd be very bright and colorful. Yeah, I think it'd be a nice mix of rain and sun. Crashing waves though underneath the cliffs, just because I would like to sit in a little
Must have.
library. Yeah, a little library or in a little tower, looking over the edge.
Oh, so beautiful.
Perfect, beautiful,
It's so nice.
majestic castle.
Right. Well, we'll
In
come
Scotland.
in Scotland, obviously. But we'll be back. We'll visit.
But like a magical Scotland. So like Scotland with dragons.
Scotland with dragons, yes. And unicorns, right?
Yeah, of course.
Of course, literally.
A must.
Griffins and other goblins and creatures.
Yeah, all the magical creatures.
Griffins and goblins. Perfect. Amazing, amazing.
I guess we can move on to a bit of the more serious ones, but easy.
They're
Still easy, don't worry. Well, you mentioned that you haven't lived in Scotland, obviously, your whole life, as we know, but for our listeners, why did you move there, and what was moving there like? Because that's a big jump from, the US to literally across the seas on an isle, like, by yourself.
It was a very big change and a very fast decision too. So I went pretty quickly into
She said,
the
let me go before I can convince myself not to go.
Exactly. So I went for my master's degree, but it was really just because I wanted to experience something new, a new adventure, as we love to say on this podcast, adventuring.
We do. That is what we do.
Yeah, I just think I wanted something like a change, something different. Obviously it was terrifying not knowing anyone. Had to do a bunch of, different things to try to find friends. But it was just nice to be in a new area where you know nothing about. Every day I would just walk down a random street, find something new, and I'm like, wow, this is really cool. It was just like, yeah, it made myself a lot more confident because I had to put myself out there a lot. Now I know a lot of people, done a lot of traveling. Yeah, it was like a jump really from the US to here. And now it worked out. So.
Good. I'm so glad. Because that could be so scary. And I imagine it's like really interesting kind of being, I feel like, in an older part of the world. Like I've seen some of the pictures that you take of like the architecture and stuff, and I'm like, that is literally insane. And we were talking in last episode about how a lot of medieval history is kind of framed in this like European, like UK area. And I'm sure a lot of that culture is probably still, you could still see it today.
Just like walk down the street and see buildings that were made in like 1000.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
In medieval times, yeah.
I go to work every day in the oldest building in Scotland, and it's shocking.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's just many ruins around, so it's just crazy just how much has just been built on top of all these old civilizations. Especially cool for me because archeology.
Yeah.
I love that. I love
Yes.
medieval archaeology especially. So yeah, it's just like every day is walking out and seeing something cool and old and like, oh, maybe I should research the history on this and learning something new.
So you mentioned that you moved to Scotland because you wanted a new adventure. How would you define the word adventure?
Very describes adventure. I'm just messing. No, I would say that adventure is like just something out of your ordinary. Like it doesn't have to be something that's crazy. Sometimes I say I'm going on an adventure and I go to a new coffee shop, but it's not something that I usually do. Like it's something new to me. It doesn't have to be crazy. You don't have to go skydiving, but you can. That's also an adventure. It's just something out of your day-to-day life, I think. Something out of your normal schedule, or just something new that you haven't tried before.
I love that. I mean, that's kind of our whole thing here is like,
Yeah.
you can have adventures in your everyday life.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be something crazy or grand, and it doesn't have to be that risk-taking if you don't want it to be. Give you something nice and easy. I don't know, keep you going.
Yeah.
You out there, you gotta try to do something.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Try new stuff. So what do you think? Why do you think it's so important to do all these tiny little adventures in your everyday life?
But you have one life to do and see. And I think we waste so much time on goofy things. Sometimes you have to pay attention to the boring stuff, like work. or paying bills
Yeah.
or going grocery shopping. But if you don't put in the small things, then it's like, what are you doing all these other things for? So it's like, of course, yes, I have to go to work for 9 hours every day, but it's like I'm doing that so I can do the things that I enjoy, or try something new, or see something new. So I think it's just and on doing the little things that make you happy, and pushing through all the annoying stuff so you can actually enjoy what you like.
I love that. Like, keeping that in your mind throughout the workday has got to be good too. Like, yeah, I hate my job and it sucks to pay bills, but I'm doing all that so I can keep going on these little adventures that
Mhm.
make life worth living. That's so nice.
Yeah, it definitely gives you like a
That's good,
sense of
happy stuff.
purpose because you have to do some of these things either way, you know? It's not like we're all millionaires or, you know, babies of millionaires.
All right. Yeah, baby's a millionaire.
So, yeah, I love the idea of like keeping the little things in mind while we have to do the tough stuff because the tough stuff has to be done regardless. And I think a lot of people get caught up in the tough stuff to actually remember that you can do other things outside of that you still love or that give you a sense of excitement and purpose of why you're doing those things in the first place.
I'm
So,
I don't want to do anything today. I want to lay in bed and do nothing. And I'm like, but why did I go to work if not to be able to enjoy myself afterwards?
that's
I
so
love that,
true.
Yeah.
Like, I have to, sometimes it's like, yeah, I do have to force myself to get out of bed to go like read a book or do something exciting. But it's like, you have to do it because that is what we're doing it for.
Yeah. That's incredible.
So true.
I'm gonna use that next time I just want to rot in bed all day. Man, why did I do all that work for?
To lay in bed.
No, I could do that like
To lay in bed and do nothing.
yeah.
So you've moved to Scotland, you've got your master's degree, you work in a castle. Where would you say you are in your personal hero's journey?
I briefed her on the hero's journey, so she
Hey,
knows,
let's
yeah, knows all the
go!
bits.
Yeah,
We love a
Why-
briefing.
all these cool sounding things. I am at the Night of the Soul. Is that the Dark Night?
The darkest night of the soul?
Yeah.
Me too!
Sorry.
Yeah, I feel like every day I'm getting beaten up by evil lackey goblins.
No,
That-
seriously. Somebody better kill these goblins for me because
They're trying to take me down
Yeah.
every day. But like I just feel like there's gonna be a turn. We're almost there, but something has to happen.
Mhm.
I'm just Dark
I'm
Night
just
of
waiting
the
for it.
Soul.
I'm
So tragic.
we're all in this together.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. We've all been there.
I'm getting mugged by thieves on this trail. I have to fight
Oh
beasts.
my gosh, not the beasts.
Horrible.
That's so sad.
It's tough out here.
Mm-hmm.
It do be scary in this darkest night.
Yeah.
It's the Dark Night.
It is a dark night. It is. It's a dark night. Well, if it's any encouragement, all heroes that go through the dark night of the soul, they always come out. So,
Better than ever.
right.
True.
Because if they didn't
And I
come
can
out,
bring my treasures back to the village.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring your treasures back to the village.
Exactly.
If you don't make it out, you'll be that skeleton that like another hero sees in the cave, and they were like,
And
"Oh,
then
I
like
wonder
gives
who
him
that
the
is."
ants.
Yeah. So
It's
like,
like
lose
it's
my
like
body?
when Mr. Incredible like goes in the cave and he finds Syndrome's body and it has like
yes.
the reveal of in his skeleton.
Yeah, yeah. When you give them some like answer.
That's you, Emma.
Yeah. Like, oh, don't do this.
Or there's like help written on the wall. Or like
Yeah.
turn back.
Yeah, that's you that wrote that.
3 coins laid beside me that you can loot.
Mhm.
Exactly.
And I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy. So I'm
You gotta keep fighting. Yeah.
keep going.
Stay up. Stay alive. Keep standing.
I'm
It's
trying.
okay. You'll get through it. You'll get through it.
The good thing about night is that it always ends.
So true. And we've all been through the dark night of the soul. Probably multiple in the time that we've been doing this podcast.
Some longer than others.
Yeah, sometimes they keep lasting and keep lasting. And they don't stop going. And it's a long night.
Anyways, So you've kind of touched on this a little bit, like kind of the importance of, going on adventures and things like that, because we do only have one life. So what would you say for other people who are trying to live their best life and go on adventures? Say they are stuck in the darkest night like you are. What would you say to them to help them kind of get in the mindset of, oh, this is the only life I have. So even if it is my darkest night, I should live it.
The biggest thing for me is just not focusing on, even if these things, like obviously there are things that aren't great in your life, but you can't focus on it or wallow in it. I do not like my job.
What? I haven't heard you say that ever. You don't like your job.
I am not pleased. If I go home and I wallow every day, it's like nothing's going to get done. That's not going to change how much I like my job. If I go home and I'm like, okay, that's done. Let's do something that makes me happy now. At least there's like that little bit of joy. But not wallowing in the sad things.
Yeah.
You have to be proactive. You have to do it. It sucks. You gotta go get it. But yeah, I think it's just like going after. You gotta make it happen.
Yeah. I like that. Because, like, your job's already, or the things you don't like, in most cases, it's your job. It's taking so much energy from you already. If you go home and let it take the rest of your day, like, the job wins. And you can't do that.
The job wins. Exactly.
You can't let your evil coworkers win.
You can't let them win. You have to go home and forget you even have that job until you clock in the next day. I think that's the only way to win.
No, I will talk about this literally forever because the amount of times like I talk to some of my coworkers who like give their lives to these jobs that treat them like garbage. And I'm like, girl, I'm off the clock. Like, I don't care. They don't care about me. Why should I care about them? Like, I do
at that job.
No, literally, my world and everything does not revolve around that job. Like, I know, like, even like me personally, like, I had to call out of work, I think, like 2 weeks ago because I wasn't feeling good. And my manager always gives me, like, I feel like the nastiest attitude. And it probably stresses her out that I'm calling out. And I understand that. But that's not going to change me calling out if I can't come into work. Exactly. So why is she trying to make me miserable?
Right?
Because she's miserable.
Still not coming in.
Yeah, I'm going to live my life.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
But people really have that mindset where it's just like, okay, work, sleep, wake up, work, sleep, you know?
Yeah. And I think sometimes because that's the only place that they get any sort of fulfillment. But I mean, when you force yourself to go on these adventures and have a life and like things that are fulfilling outside of your job, that becomes less important.
Yeah, and I think it becomes more personally fulfilling and not just like, okay, I'm helping this corporation make money.
Good job. The corporation loves you now.
Which, I mean, for some that is okay. And then you have others like us who are trying to be podcasters and Emma who learns about swords and works in castles. Digs in the dirt for bones.
Yeah. Dirt for bones, dirt for bones.
That's the dream.
That's the dream.
That's the dream.
How do you find like a digging site? I literally don't know how an archaeologist finds a job.
There's a lot of different ways. Sometimes you kind of have like historic knowledge. You find like old tales written by monks that lived in this one remote village. They're like, oh, there was a huge settlement at this location. And you're like, oh, let's go see if it's still there. But most of the time it's, let's see, like a new high-rise student flat building going up, and they start digging and they're like, oh, dang, we just dug up a skeleton. Let's call the archaeologists.
Let's find an archaeologist.
Oh, no.
A lot of it is because just construction sites will run into like old settlements or like artifacts, bones.
That's crazy.
Like, oh, let's get someone to dig this up before we put a new mall here.
That's kind of cool because you go to school to be an archaeologist, but really you're just like a historian, and then archaeologist is like a subset of that. Like, That's
Yeah,
really
'cause you gotta
cool.
know so much to be able to find the stuff to dig up in the first place. So
Yeah, I saw online that there's a archaeologist who is trying to find Cleopatra's tomb, and she thinks it's underwater. So she has to work with like the Egyptian government so that she can get her permits to make sure that she can like safely like dive under the water and do the things that she's supposed to do. And I'm like, this girl is Indiana Jones. Like that sounds sick.
see how
Definitely look that
much
up if none of you
underwater
know what I'm talking about.
archaeology.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Mhm.
I'm sure there's got to be so much under the water. Would you ever do that? Just do a whole bunch of underwater digging?
I don't know if scuba diving is my thing.
Valid.
But I had a lecturer that worked in Jamaica and went to an underwater sunken pirate city.
Oh,
So I
wow.
do kind of wish I had taken
That
some
is
swimming
kind of cool.
classes.
That's incredible.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, there's tons of cool stuff under the water, but not my scene.
Respectable.
More of an above water gal.
Yeah. The oxygen tanks scare me.
Those are
That's really
probably so
scary.
heavy, so that's
Yeah.
valid.
Mhm.
Give me a shovel and a trowel, and I'm good
Yeah.
to go.
Mhm.
Seriously. I mean, even the water is scary. I have like thalassophobia, so that's okay.
Mhm.
I wouldn't do it either.
Too big, too deep.
Yeah, I'm good.
Too big,
Yeah.
too dark, too cold.
Mhm. Yeah.
Megalodon.
The Meg.
Don't laugh. Meg is
The
in
Meg.
the ocean.
The Meg is real. I believe in the
The
Meg.
Meg is real.
How do we know? She's got to be out there.
Right? She's gotta be up there.
Anyways,
Anyways, so you obviously know a lot about the history and English folklore and legend and myth. Do you have a favorite figure of perhaps an Arthurian legend?
I do.
Oh, and who would that be?
enlighten us.
So I spent so many of my college courses were revolving around like medieval legends and King Arthur and looking at castles and things. And so I just kind of dug into every story I could find on King Arthur. And my favorite character is Mordred.
Mordred.
R-E-D for those listening out there. He is considered like one of the main villains of the Arthurian legends. But I think I
Oh,
think there's
no.
a soft I think he's a sweetie that just made a bad decision at the end of his life.
Okay. Okay, wait. Give us a cliff
brief
notes for
history,
those
yeah.
who don't know any Arthurian
Of course.
legends.
Of course. So
Give us the highlight reel.
Yeah. Spark notes.
different stories about how Mordred is related to King Arthur. In some stories, he's like a nephew. He's usually always related to him. In other versions, he is his illegitimate son. So close ties. In some versions, he is the incestuous illegitimate child of King Arthur.
Oh dang.
Lots of family ties around here. But he basically grows up, joins the Knights of the Round Table, becomes really close friends with Lancelot, Sir Gawain.
We know those guys.
Exactly, all the people you talk about before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Mordred's like grown up alongside them, gone on all the quests together, fighting alongside them with King Arthur under his rule. And then his tale basically ends when he betrays Arthur. The
Judas.
Battle of Camlan, which is like the final battle. Mordred decides to seize Camelot from King Arthur, seizes Guinevere from King Arthur.
Oh
He
no,
says-
he didn't.
He said, "I'm the king of Britain now. This is mine." And King Arthur comes back from whatever quest he was on and says, "Let's fight it out."
Mhm.
And so this is the final battle of Mordred and King Arthur because they fight to the death. He wounds King Arthur. King Arthur gives the killing blow to Mordred. But King Arthur is obviously taken by Morgana or whoever it is in that version of the story to Avalon to be healed forever. And live in whatever that their heaven type thing is.
Yeah.
The Arthurian legends.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's how Mordred goes.
Wow.
He's
Dang.
one of the knights of the table and just decides one day that he wants all the power.
It's like enough is enough.
Dang. That is like a real Judas story.
It really is.
Yeah, it's very similar to like Lancelot, where it's like one of your close close family, friends, or something, just betraying King Arthur.
Yeah.
Lots of betrayers. But I think
What do you
I think there was probably a lot of political turmoil going on. Maybe he thought this was a good political move to take Britain from King Arthur. How do we know King
Okay.
Arthur was even the best leader for this time?
Right. Especially if he was gone on a quest.
Campaign.
Yeah.
He was gone, leaving the
And-
land for itself.
And his wife all alone. What was Mordred to do?
What was he to do? So real, actually. What was he to do?
No, I only sympathize with him because I read a book written by a woman about Mordred that made him into a very sympathetic character.
Oh my gosh. Was this like a real or was it like fiction?
I mean, it's
Like fanfic.
like a romance.
fiction as in King Arthur or fiction as in like
Was this like
what-
based
It's like
in myth?
what?
Or was it like Wattpad?
it's like it was obviously based on the myths, but I mean the personalities are kind of made up for each character anyways.
Yeah.
Because like the original tellings of the story, you don't really get a lot about how they actually were.
Mhm.
The only thing you hear about Mordred in some of the earlier stories is that he is a really good guy. He's very charismatic. He's a good friend. And so it's like, then all of a sudden in later tellings of the story, he turns into a villain. That I read, it kind of took those good characteristics, and obviously it still ends the same way. He betrays Arthur, but he's got a reason this time.
Yeah.
He thinks that
Okay.
King Arthur actually isn't the best leader for Camelot. He thinks he's doing the right thing by saving the people from him, and then obviously it does not end well for him. But it gives some different perspectives on his personality.
See, I'm inclined to believe that more than just he turned
Me
one day.
also.
Like he was part of the round table. He loved these guys. He just wanted what was best for England.
Yeah. And to do it out of nowhere does not make any sense.
Yeah.
I'm more
think
inclined
Team Mordred.
Some turmoil there.
Yeah.
King Mordred.
I think I'm Team Mordred all the way.
He's a baddie.
He's a baddie for real.
He's a baddie for real.
Okay. If they made a movie about Mordred's life, we love fan casting things. If they made a movie
Yes.
with Mordred, who would you cast as Mordred?
Roughly, like
Yeah.
longish brown or black hair. So I need you to name some actors for me here.
Longish black or brown hair?
I'm not thinking like Timothy Chalamet. No offense.
Yeah. No, he's gotta be
Timothy.
like stronger. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
like, he's
definitely
a
not.
knight. He's a
He's
fighter.
a knight. Yeah, he's a fighter.
Yeah, long hair.
Keanu Reeves.
Actually, I could see it. Yeah.
Like, would it be bad?
Yeah.
Jason Momoa.
I think too strong.
I think too buff.
Too buff.
he could
'Cause
maybe
he's kinda-
be King Arthur, but I don't know. He's too strong.
Oh, interesting. I see.
Look a little evil. I think like Jason Momoa looks good.
He's yeah. He can only play
Like,
good guys, I think.
He looks pure.
Yeah.
I'm seeing some long-haired Christian Bale pictures, and I'm like,
Ooh.
maybe
Yeah.
like
Oh, he has a good look, especially when he
10,
has that
15
little
years ago, yeah.
like mustache beard thing. Yeah, I could see
Where you're
that.
like, oh, I could trust this guy, but he also could stab me in the back.
Yeah.
Wait,
That's the
I
vibe,
see
that's the vibe.
it.
I like it. I see it.
I like that.
Yeah. Also,
I had
maybe
to look him up
like
with
a
long
younger,
hair.
a younger Tom Hiddleston could do it.
That's
Like,
literally what I was thinking.
Oh my gosh.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think, you know what, that actually might be why I liked Mordred so much, is
He's
because he
so
does
Loki.
kind of remind me of Loki.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, yes, he betrays those closest to him, but, you know, there's just so much going on inside that
He really thought he was doing the right thing. Yeah.
He did.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's crazy how Loki was the bad guy. And now I love him.
Easy to
He
forget.
just wanted to be seen.
He
Yeah.
just wanted to be seen. And then he ends up becoming the ultimate good guy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Spoilers, sorry guys.
Watch the show if you haven't seen it.
Watching-
Not my fault if you haven't watched it yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Is anyone watching those these days?
Not anymore. That was literally the last thing I watched.
Yeah. Besides Deadpool, like that was the only thing I.
That was literally the last thing.
Need to see that one still.
Oh man, it's good.
It's so good. Worth it. I literally was cackling in the theater. I was trying to hold it in. It was so funny.
It was good.
It was really good.
And I don't know if you've gotten the cameos spoiled for you, but there's yeah. There's one that you'll love. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry,
Emma's gonna love it.
podcasters. Sweat. That's one of my favorite characters of all
I
time.
know.
Like
I
from
was
the
like, oh,
comic.
Emma's gonna be so happy.
I know, so I do need to see
You
it.
need to see it. It's great.
Well, we've exhausted all of our questions.
See, was that
And with
scary?
flying
Was that
colors.
scary? You
Yes.
passed.
A+. Question
Another-
completed.
No, this
Yes.
is another job interview I won't hear back from.
We'll let you know in 2 to 5 weeks if you have the job. But if you apply somewhere else, you won't get it.
I'm sorry we decided to go in another direction.
We decided to go to another direction. Someone with more experience on Mordred. Sorry.
You didn't tell us enough. Sorry.
Yeah, we want to know more about Mordred.
Please no.
Well, I think there's only one more question left, and it's the most important one of all.
Most important one that we never forget.
So, as you may, as we never forget, and we never have to come up with it on the fly.
You guys seem very well prepared in every podcast episode I've listened to.
Every single one, we are always so
That's a
prepared.
serious statement. I'm proud of us.
I know, like we're so good.
No, you do.
We
You're
are.
so good.
God.
It sounds put together.
Oh, thank you so much. We're
We're
learning.
trying
a
to
lot.
make it as authentic as possible, honestly. And sometimes I'm like, is it too authentic? But then I'm like,
Are
is
we
there
being
such a
too
thing?
real?
Are we being too real right now? Like that it's unentertaining or
Giggled and juice in
unprofessional?
there.
Yeah. You know, if they love us, they'll watch it. That's what
If
I
they
say.
love us, they'll love us.
Yeah. If they love us, they love us. Well, that thing that we're alluding to is at the end of every episode, we come up with a side quest for our listeners, something to, have a little adventure in their everyday lives, get them through the weekend. And since you're our very special guest, you get to give one to our listeners. So tell it.
Give us a quest.
So I think because I love knights and castles and everything like that so much, I've decided that the side quest should be to design your own coat of arms.
Oh, I love that.
That's good. That's good.
Wait, oh my
A little
god.
explanation if you need help. The coat of arms is basically the shield with all the different designs on it that you see. Usually represents like noble families or royalty. But people take symbols that represent them or their family and a little motto at the bottom, and they put it all together. Nice little design. So I think that'd be a good way to kind of like see what you think are the values that represent you.
I
or
love
just something
that.
you like. Put your favorite animal on there.
Yeah.
Use your favorite colors, little cute design, and then just a little motto at the bottom.
That's so
I
sweet.
think
love it.
Hang
We
it
should
up on your
end the
wall.
episode with a time lapse of us creating our own coat of arms
Oh my gosh.
right now.
Wait, do I have a
I've been
sketchbook
playing
around
around
me?
with it. I've been playing around.
You gotta
I
find
can
a
only use
notebook.
I'm
I
like, wait,
cannot
paper,
articulate.
paper.
I have a whole set of markers right beside me, actually, so this is
I
perfect.
literally have
Emma, you are using the
Pens
receipt
and-
to make your coat of arms.
and Maggie can time lapse us drawing, and then
Yeah.
we'll do the reveal and explain our coat of arms.
Okay, starting now.
Alrighty.
Well, I'm done. And y'all are.
One.
I'm done.
Okay.
I am
Time,
kind of actually
time.
really proud of my.
Time.
Cut it! You're done.
Cut. All right. Who wants to go first? Should we let our
Me.
special? Okay, Ari, go first.
No, we can let Emma go first.
Emma, you want to go first?
Wrote mine on a receipt because that's what I had in front of me.
Pure art. Hold on.
There we go. There we go.
Oh,
the dragon's
I
so
love
pretty.
it.
It is a classic heraldic shield. Two-tone there. We've got some purple and yellow background.
Yeah.
The bottom one has, fun little sparkles for just a little extra texture there.
Mhm.
Then a dragon in the middle. The only way I know how to draw a dragon.
I do it the same way still.
I just think I like the dragon because I think it's cool. First of all, but also it represents strength. Look very nice.
Mhm.
I love it, and it's so colorful too.
Beautiful.
Like the
And what-
dragon kind of looks like the Loch Ness
Sorry.
monster.
It kind of does.
for Scotland.
Because I feel like
Scotland.
for adventure.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
okay.
then
Yeah.
my motto down there is in fide,
Mhm.
in
And what does that mean?
in loyalty, in family, towards glory.
Whoa!
Oh,
You came up with that?
I did. No one else helped.
Oh my
I
god.
love it.
That's crazy.
I know Latin.
Too good.
You're a genius. Wait, Ari, I know you want to go next, but something really
ahead,
funny
go.
happened. Me and Emma have a similar symbol on our sheet. I also
Wait,
put yellow.
Maggie, you
I
look
also
so
put
good.
yellow sparkles on mine. So this is mine. I went with the classic four quadrant.
Yeah,
In the middle is a star because I'm a star.
that's so true.
I went with pink because it's my favorite color, and green because it symbolizes growth and change. I put a
Okay.
big N in the middle because I'm a writer.
Oh.
And if this was like done by like a real artist, I would want this to be like anatomically correct brain and like
Okay.
realistic looking hands. So this is supposed to symbolize like a hug, like reaching out to people, being kind, always being there for others. And then the brain with all the sparkles around it is like sparking creativity and being like original and unique. And my little motto over here is Redicitus Misericordium, which means radical kindness.
I love it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt, but I know I said that each thing should be like a representative of you, and then I drew a dragon.
You're a dragon and two colors.
I said use values that are important to you, and it was
And it was
A dragon.
a dragon
My
and also
favorite
blue.
It's purple.
Oh.
Purple. Purple for Speak Now, Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Real. That's real. That's who you are.
I forgot the quest instantly.
That's okay, as long as you had fun doing it.
Yeah, that's true. I think, Ari, let's see yours. It's gotta be better than mine.
This is mine.
Oh, it's so cute.
So we have a little knight here who's aiming for our little rider over here. And we have a skull with a tree growing on top of the skull because I really value nature. I didn't have green, so that's why there's no green on it. But I really value nature, so I was like, let me put the tree in the middle, and everything in it is separated by the roots of the tree, meaning that we're all connected in some way, shape, and form.
Oh, I love that.
The skull on the bottom here means that everyone dies, no matter what. Our endings are all the same.
Yeah.
And then the picture goes with my motto, which is Calamus Gladio Fortio, which is the pen is stronger than the sword.
I love it.
And it's funny because he's about to die from the sword. That's why I said it's
And he's holding a
ironic.
pen. Yeah.
And
Oh,
he's holding a pen, and he's gonna die. But even if he dies right now, the knight will still die later on. So,
Love it.
but the knight will have nothing to show for it, while the writer will have his little paper here.
Oh, I love it.
So that is my coat of arms.
I think you guys put some thought into this beforehand.
Oh, we did.
No, I promise. I didn't even know the quest.
It was your quest.
This was your idea.
By the time this episode airs, I will have a formalized
I'm gonna hang it up.
coat of arms
Yeah,
that will be posted on Instagram for everyone to
Yes.
see. This was more of like an example of what they could look like. It doesn't really have anything to do with me at
That's
all.
what it
I'm
would
not
look
gonna
like if
lie.
it was bad.
No, and I know there's definitely like online generators. And I
Just
definitely
getting
know
over
there's
it.
online generators and stuff that you could literally like create like based off your last name and your family's heritage and stuff like that. So, but I really like that because I feel like coat of arms were really common like in medieval times and throughout history, but now so it's not like, hey, what's your coat of arms look like? Like you're not gonna look at that and be like, oh, I know that family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that is I feel like a really nice and fun quest. And then maybe we'll start using coat of arms again.
Right? I think like now it's like you use
Version?
stickers Yeah, you use like stickers to like show your personality.
That's true.
We should just make little stickers
We
of
should
our
just
coats of arms and
make
put them
coats
on
of
our back
arms.
of our car
Yes!
or something. Yeah.
That was so good.
We'll have to make a coat of arms for the podcast.
Oh my gosh! Wait, put a pin in that. That's
Put a
a good
pin in
idea.
that.
That's really good.
Absolutely.
And purple. Pink and purple?
Yeah, pink and purple.
Pink and purple.
Correct.
Yes.
I am winning. I'm winning this
So good. You're
podcast.
so good at
No,
this.
but I absolutely love that. Any chance I get to do something like this, just like on the fly, is literally so fun, so perfect.
Yeah.
And of course, viewers, you can do one as serious or unserious as you would like to. This is something you could do with your kids. Give them a template of a shield and have them draw stuff on it. Like, that would be really cool.
Right.
Like, this could definitely be a whole nice, like, family activity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very good side quest. That's fantastic.
Perfect.
You passed again.
You passed again. You're so good at this, Emma.
I am killing it.
You're killing the podcast game right now. Wow. Well, that wraps things up. That's your side quest for the week. Anything
Yes.
else you'd like to say, Emma?
About yourself or whatever you want?
Be here. I
Yeah.
like following all the little side quests, and it brings light to my day to have something a little fun to do
Aw.
every day.
Sweet. Oh, well, we're
I
so glad you
love-
could join us. It was so much fun.
Yes. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Because Emma is like 6 or 7 hours ahead of us.
Yeah, so it's
So
6
it's a little
for
hard.
us. It's 6:10 for me, 5:10 for Ari, and that means it's 11:10 for you.
oh my
Wow.
god.
Yeah, you're a trooper for real.
She's
You-
living
you
in the
are
future. So if
truly
you
the
guys have
knight.
any questions about the future, just ask Emma.
Ask Emma. What's gonna
What I
happen?
always say.
Emma, who wins the
Infinity-
2024 election?
oh my god.
You cut out! You cut out!
Oh no!
What's
Oh
the truth? What's the truth?
Coat of arms.
Coat of arms, coat of arms. Well,
But that is your quest, travelers. And if you want to see a bit about Emma, you can catch some of her stuff and her coat of arms on our socials at Questing Hour Podcast, Questing HR Podcast, available on all platforms.
literally every single social media. And if you want to make your own coat of arms and share it with us, you can use hashtag #MyQuestingHour. And in the meantime, we will see you guys back on Monday.
For more history, farewell,
Yay!
travelers.
So long.